And we'll go to Jalen Harrell for our first question.
Hey, Kaimon. So looking at last season, you were tied for second on team with four sacks and had a total of 31 tackles. Just looking at those numbers, how are you trying to improve? Is there any goals, or do you have goals for some new records and numbers you're trying to set for this upcoming season?
I mean, last year, man, that was a great experience, man, and just to be able to hear those stats, man, this actually catch me by surprise a little bit. But this year, yeah, I got a lot of goals. I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to get more sacks, get more tackles, more TFLs, whatever the case may be, to help me produce for the defensive side. And my goals are just to, like I said, just to increase my sack percentage, just to increase my tackles for loss, and just like overall, just to be a better teammate on the defensive side, give my linebackers, my safeties, my corners a good look wherever, whenever it's a fit or a pass. And so that's pretty much the goal. And then obviously just to improve on the defensive side as whole, just like, just be able to create turnovers, be able to catch picks, create fumbles, sacks, more TFLs, more tackles for everybody, just stuff like that. So that's probably my goals for this year as well.
And we hear Coach Matt Brown talk a lot about leadership this year. Going into your junior year, how are you working to be a leader on and off the field?
On the field, just to be available whenever somebody's ready to talk to me. Just being, you're quote unquote old head now, just like that's kind of weird to say that now, but just like for the D lineman that's coming in, just to always be available when they're asking questions about which stunts we have, what fits we're supposed to make, and pass rushers, what moves to make. And it doesn't even have to be defensive line. It can also be linebackers. It's like, hey, you have this fit. What am I supposed to do when you do this or that? And then even just somebody as such as Dontavius Nash asked me how to trail the near hip on making a tackle. Just being available, always being ready when somebody's ready to ask me a question. And then off the field, just take care of academic business, go to class, be on time every single day. Just be a good role model for people that look up to me on the football field. Outside is always being sociable, being happy as I always am, and just like I said, just being a great role model for everybody else.
And last question, in terms of freshmen and newer guys, is there anyone who's like, caught your eye or like, yeah, this guy kind of has it?
Repeat that question. I'm sorry.
I said in terms of freshmen and newer guys, is there any player in particular that's kind of caught your eye and like, yeah, this guy kind of has it?
Oh yeah, Bo Atkinson, man. He's just being in my room and his ability to learn. And he's only been here for 7 to 8 months. He early enrolled in January. So for him just to pick up our defense, he was recruited as an outside linebacker last year. And then you, of course, change the defenses a little bit. Now he's in the D-line room with me. And just to see him progress, not only physically, but mentally as well, just gaining the playbook, and then him trusting his own judgment on a lot of plays and fitting the way that he does and pass rushing the way that he does. He's going to be a guy to look out for like as he continues to improve, and I just can't wait to see how his future turns out. But yeah, he's definitely one of the young guys that's caught my eye, most definitely, along with some others.
Thank you.
All right, Steve Wiseman, go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. Hey, Kaimon, I want to ask you about what are the differences in focus you guys are working on this year under Coach Chiswick as opposed to what you did the first 2 years?
I would say, especially this year, he wants to create walls. And what I mean by that, creating walls, is just on the defensive front. He wants to create such a solid defensive line front to where the running back has no holes to fit. And this doesn't even have to be on the defensive line. It's also as well as linebackers making the back end fits and safeties and corners. And that's something that he always harps on first and second down. And of course, third and long, fourth and long, whenever it gets to that chance. Hey, we got to get after the quarterback. So what Chiswick really wants us to do is just be able to create fewer calls and make a lot of production. And I feel like that's what he's been doing, especially in this camp and along the summer as well. We haven't even installed a lot of plays, but we went over 80% of the playbook on the defensive side. So just being able to do all that and seeing the production that we've been putting up, that's really what he wants us to hark on, especially this upcoming season.
Back over to Andrew Jones, please.
Hey, Kaimon, I've heard some stories about the seriousness of Coach Chiswick's defensive meetings. Can you kind of take me through what those meetings are like for you from the moment he walks in the room and you guys have to have your feet on the ground, look straight ahead and It's all business.
Yep. I mean, you hit it on the nail. On the second that we get ready for our defensive meeting, feet on the floor, sit up, NC on the ready. Everybody says ready. And then when we break the meeting, it's hit and run on 3, 1, 2, 3, hit and run. He expects what we give him. He wants us to give us his undivided attention. And when he wants that, he wants us to lock in on whatever he has to say, whether that's just football tips to be aware, especially like red zone situations, 2-minute, anything like that, or if it's another install. So I will say it's not necessarily the seriousness of Coach Chizik that is what brings in the meeting room, is that he wants us to be truly locked in and understand concepts more than just the plays that we are given and anything else. So I feel like Coach Chizik, he does bring that intensity to the room, but I feel like it's the intensity and seriousness that we need.
A couple of guys have also said that he said, look, I want you to be really good at 5 things, not okay at 15. And I asked him about that yesterday, and he thinks it does kind of relieve some of the pressure from you guys, because maybe before there was too much on everybody's plate. Now the scope is narrowed some, so you know exactly what your role is when you're out there, and it kind of relieves some of that pressure. What do you think about that?
I feel like that's great. I feel like your best coaches are the best simplifiers, and I feel like Coach Chizik has done that a lot this year, just not creating so many plays, giving us a ton of playbooks and expecting us to learn it in a short amount of time. But I feel like with him, he is really honed on just giving us a couple of plays a day. And like I said, we haven't even went through a whole bunch of plays, and we already went through 80% of the playbook. And for him just to know that, all right, if all else fails, we're going to go with these couple of calls, and we're going to get good at these calls, and we're going to run them, and we're going to dominate whoever it is. So I feel like that mentality, that simplifying and honing down on not having so many plays has taken off the stress of the defense a lot, and has given us the ability to just make plays. And for that, us as a defense, man, that's great to have.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Final question will come from Naya Satterfield-Brown.
Hi, so what's your mentality going into the season? You've been through about a week of camp, so what are you feeling going into these next couple of days of camp and into the season?
Really just being available. Like I said, just kind of how the past question was, just being available whenever younger guys ask me questions, or whether older guys ask me questions. But also just to make sure that my body is right, make sure that I'm in my playbook day in and day out, watching film whenever I can, because obviously, this is a big year for me. I'm going into my junior year. That means I'm eligible for NFL scouts. I have high expectations. I have high goals. And so I have to live up to those expectations, and I want those for myself as well. So I have to push myself to limits far beyond than I've done in the past. And I feel like that's just taking it day in, day out, being 1% better than the day before. I feel like carrying that mentality through camp, carrying that mentality through the season as well. I feel like that's what's going to carry me to progress as a player and also as a person.
That's all from me. Thank you.
All right. Kaimon, thanks for a couple of minutes.
Thank y'all.